Picture this. You're gearing up for the season thinking your defense is set, and then out of nowhere, a piece of news drops that changes everything. That's exactly what happened to the Ravens heading into Week 1 against the Bills. Baltimore spent months building what could be one of the strongest offenses in the NFL, but there was still one massive question mark hanging over the team. Would Jaire Alexander, their biggest offseason addition, actually be ready for the opener? And the update that came out this week could completely shift how Baltimore approaches Josh Allen and company. Because this isn't just about one player coming back. It's about turning an already stacked defense into something even more dangerous. What happened in that latest practice lit a spark of confidence no one saw coming. At the start of last season, Baltimore's defense was a mess. They couldn't find their rhythm. They gave up big plays left and right, and it felt like that group couldn't stop anybody. But as the weeks rolled on, something clicked. The unit tightened up, gained confidence, and by the end of the year, they were one of the most feared defenses in the league. It was an incredible turnaround. But it also left one big question. Was it sustainable or just a hot stretch they couldn't repeat in 2025? The Ravens didn't want to leave it up to chance. In the offseason, they went out and added proven names to solidify the unit. Veteran corner Chidobe Awuzie was brought in for leadership and reliability, while the draft gave them two exciting young prospects in Malaki Starks and Mike Green. But the boldest move came later, when Baltimore shocked everyone by signing Jaire Alexander, one of the premier corners in the NFL, who left Green Bay carrying sky-high expectations. That mix of youth and experience completely reshaped the defense. Suddenly, doubt turned into belief. Instead of worrying about a shaky start like last year, the feeling now is that this group is ready to hit the ground running from Week 1. And in a long NFL season, that kind of consistency is exactly what separates middle-of-the-pack teams from true Super Bowl contenders. It's like Baltimore hit the reset button on their weakest link. What used to be a liability is now one of their biggest strengths. But even with all these moves, one lingering concern still kept people uneasy: the health of Jaire Alexander. And that's where this week's breaking news changed everything. All offseason long, one question kept circling in Baltimore. Would Jaire Alexander actually be healthy in time for Week 1? The star cornerback has dealt with injuries that cut into his momentum over the past few years, and every week he spent sidelined only fueled more doubt for a team that invested heavily in him. That uncertainty was a major concern. That's why Thursday's news hit like a gift. Alexander was back at full practice for the first time since August 9th. The vibe inside the building flipped instantly. It wasn't just that he was out there. It was a signal it sent. He's in condition to play. All that anxiety suddenly turned into real optimism. Now, of course, nothing is guaranteed, given his injury history. Everyone is still cautious about assuming he'll be out there on Sunday night in Buffalo. But just seeing him practice normally, moving well alongside his teammates, was enough to boost confidence through the roof. The odds of him suiting up look better than ever. And this isn't just about one player returning. It's about what his presence means. Jaire Alexander is a true game changer, one of the top corners in football, capable of locking down the opponent's best weapon. When a player of that caliber reappears, it lifts the entire defense. And that brings us to the next piece. Just how devastating this cornerback trio can be if Alexander is ready to go. When you talk about elite defenses in today's NFL, it all starts with the secondary. And if Jaire Alexander is healthy, the Ravens could be rolling out one of the best corner trios in the league. Picture this: Alexander locking down one side, Nate Wiggins, fresh off an outstanding rookie year, on the other, and all-pro Marlon Humphrey still doing what he does best. That's pure talent across the board for defensive coordinator Zach. Or it's the dream setup, with three corners who can win one-on-one battles. He has the freedom to dial up more aggressive calls without worrying about getting burned outside. That gives the pass rush extra time to get home, which makes the whole defense flow better. And it doesn't stop there. Behind them, Baltimore has Kyle Hamilton, who's quickly becoming one of the league's brightest young safeties, plus Malaki Starks, a rookie with the upside to make an impact right away. Put all together, and this group has the youth, energy, and star power to become the heartbeat of the team in 2025. On paper, this secondary looks built to go toe-to-toe with any passing attack in the league. But football isn't one on paper. Their first real test comes right away against one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in football. And that's where Josh Allen comes into the picture.
All right, we're already past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like yet. It's really important because it helps YouTube keep showing you my content so I can keep bringing you the best news about the Baltimore Ravens. So go ahead and hit that like button. It's free and it really helps. Thanks. Now let's get back to it.
Going up against Josh Allen is never simple. He's not just a reigning MVP. He's one of the most complete quarterbacks in the game. He's got a rocket arm that can punish any defense, plus the mobility to escape pressure and create chaos on the run. That's why, even though Buffalo's receiving core isn't flashy, the danger is always there. The Bills coming with Khalil Shakir as their top target, joined by second-year receiver Keon Coleman and veteran Josh Palmer. None of them hit 1,000 yards last year, but as a group, they can absolutely make defenses pay. All it takes is one blown assignment, and Allen will find a gap and turn a routine play into a massive gain. And that's exactly why Jaire Alexander's presence is so critical. With Humphrey likely handling Shakir, Alexander and Wiggins can lock up Coleman and Palmer. That balance across the field forces Allen into tighter reads and riskier throws. In a game like this, every tip ball or interception could swing the momentum in an instant. This showdown, Buffalo's air attack against Baltimore's reloaded secondary, has the makings of one of Week 1's biggest storylines. But for the Ravens to really seize the edge, Alexander has to be on the field. His availability could end up defining how this opener plays out. If, for some reason, Jaire Alexander can't go, the outlook changes. Baltimore would have to lean on Chidobe Awuzie and second-year corner TJ Tampa to fill the void. Both are capable, but let's be real. It's a noticeable drop-off when your biggest off-season acquisition isn't out there. Against Josh Allen, any weakness becomes a bullseye. But based on what we've seen in practice, the momentum is pointing toward Alexander being ready. That gives Zach the freedom to call the game his way, knowing he has the firepower to match up against anyone. It also adds a level of intimidation that goes beyond the field. Opposing offenses know exactly who's waiting for them. This opener against the Bills isn't just another Week 1 matchup. It's a statement opportunity. A chance for the Ravens to show the league that their defense is locked in from day one, that the shaky start of 2024 is officially in the rearview. With Alexander, Humphrey, and Wiggins leading the charge, this unit could set the tone for the entire season. And that's the feeling heading into Sunday night. Baltimore isn't just showing up to compete. They're here to send a message. If Alexander is suited up and ready to roll, Buffalo's offense will be staring down one of the most dangerous defenses in the NFL. And this game could be the first real sign of just how far the Ravens can go in 2025. Jaire Alexander's return to practice completely changes the outlook for Baltimore. A defense that was already shaping up as one of the league's most promising now enters Week 1 with a renewed sense of confidence. Having Alexander out there alongside Humphrey and Wiggins isn't just an advantage. It's the missing piece that completes a secondary capable of shutting down any passing attack, even one led by an MVP like Josh Allen. The big question now is simple. Can Alexander stay on the field and anchor this defense right from the start? Because if he does, Baltimore won't just kick off the season at full strength. They'll be sending a message to the entire NFL. This team is ready to fight at the top. Sunday night in Buffalo isn't just an opener. It's Baltimore's chance to prove they've arrived.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about the world of football and want to learn more about the Ravens' legacy, don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who is also a Baltimore Ravens fan and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one was handpicked just for you, and the other is a recommendation from YouTube itself. See you there, and until the next video, go Flock.